What's up, traders? It's your boy Vincent, aka Vin Boss. If you don't know me, if this is your first time, please make sure you like, you subscribe. We always deal with the highest trading signals, levels of trading during the week and on the weekends with the videos like today's video. So, with that being said, beautiful traders, let's get into this. What is next? The market is sitting on the high time frames liquidity right now. This means that Monday will never be random. So this means this is the monthly liquidity, the blue horizontal line. This is the monthly liquidity. This is the pound. This is the euro. And this is the monthly liquidity on the gold. And this is right here, even though we have not yet reached it. This is the monthly liquidity, and it is closer to the moon phase liquidity, which is the 14-day liquidity. Now, what's next, traders? Let's get into this. First of all, we are going to be starting with the euro and the dollar. Before we get into what to expect into this trading asset here, which is the euro and the dollar, first thing, let's recap. Monday, we wanted to see buying opportunities to take out Friday's high. We did. Tuesday, we wanted to see selling opportunities to take out this low here on Friday. Of course, we did again. And the continuation was to take out the low of Tuesday. We did take that. And on Thursday, the opportunity was to make a new weekly low from last week, and we did that. And on Friday, we stopped trading all together because this was one of those days where we just won 4 days. You don't need to ruin your edge on Friday by over trading every single day. So, traders, with that being said, now what do I expect to see on the markets with euro dollar? Of course, euro dollar is waiting for liquidity sweep above Friday's high or internal level. What do I mean? That is that if we reach this and we find bearish patterns and formations, we can continue to the downside. But be careful, because we are sitting at the higher time frames where the higher time frame liquidity, where this is the monthly time frame. So this is Friday's high at 1.1663. This simply means that if we go up and break above here and then we slowly come down to make a retest, this would be a great place to look for buying opportunities to continue to the upside to go and hit this uh wave liquid this moon phase liquidity, I'm sorry, at 1.1721. This is the target place where we will be looking for selling opportunities, because going into next week, we've seen that the CPI became hotter than expected, the PPI came hotter than expected, including the retail sales. They came in hotter than expected. Even the jobs, they didn't slow as much, but it was not bad. So everything else pushed for a stronger dollar. So if the dollar becomes strong, it simply means one thing, traders. It means that we will be buying the dollar. So remember, opportunity one is around here, and if we get through this and we break this, we will not be buying this from here. Wait for a pullback to buy just to reach this level, and then we'll be looking for selling opportunities to go to the downside. This is the euro dollar for us. Let's go straight over to, but before, remember, if price rejects the selling opportunities that comes from this, then we need this clean break again, and then to retest and then consider buying opportunities. I'll be dropping the exact entry when this confirms. Don't miss it. Join Telegram. So let's go to the pound and the dollar for now. Traders, with the pound and the dollar, very simply put, what we are having is, before we get to what to expect, let's firstly recap what happened last week. This was a buy from Monday, this was a sell from Tuesday, and a sell from Wednesday, and last but not least, the big sell from Thursday. So all this simply tells us one thing, is that the dollar has potentially set out to be one of the strongest currencies going into the markets in next week. So with that being said, why didn't we trade on Friday? We still had opportunity because this was Friday's low, and it looks like we had a potential to retest it and continuation to the downside, but we were not interested in that. Why were we not interested in that? To test this low of Thursday so that we can go down on Friday, because we have already won 4 days in a row. We were not looking for any chance of losing five the last trade of the week, which might potentially get us back from where we were account wise. So with that being said, traders, this is what to expect. And one thing that you guys have to remember is that the pound is sitting right where the trap zone is right now. This is where most traders will lose money. And why do I say so? Because the monthly liquidity is strong enough for the buys, and we do have an intraday liquidity or an internal liquidity because of this low of this bearish Friday. So what the internal liquidity is saying is that we might look for selling opportunities right from this level, continue to the downside, but what their monthly is saying is that we can continue to the upside. So most traders, be careful of the fake moves first, because the monthly and the internal liquidity, it simply means manipulation zone. So this level right here can cause a lot of manipulation for traders to be trapped before the real moves comes in. So real entries will be sent live on Telegram in the link on this video description. So with that being said, traders, what I would like to see, a break of Friday's high, pull back, look for buying opportunities to reach out this level right here of 1.3528, which is the moon phase liquidity. And this moon phase liquidity can be updated as next week, because right now I'm analyzing this is the weekend and it is the new moon phase. So with that being said, beautiful traders, it simply means that it should be adjusted to the current price action. But since we do not have the new moon phase closing right here on our charts, we still use the previous level, which is 1.3528, and this would be a great place to look for selling opportunities to make the low on this week, on the previous week, to make this low of the previous week. So with that being said, traders, this could easily be an area of manipulation because of what happened on Friday and what happens on the monthly time frame, and this could end up going to the upside before it can continue to the downside. Now this is the US dollar, this is the pound and the US dollar, and very simply put, next we have to look at the US dollar and the Japanese yen. So traders, that is it from me with the pound and the dollar. Let's go to the US dollar and Japanese yen to see what it has in store for us. So traders, US dollar and the Japanese yen currency pair. Now the US dollar Japanese yen is not bearish, it's setting up for continuation. Why do I say so? Because ever since here we have been making lower highs, higher highs, lower highs, higher highs, or higher lows, I'm sorry, new highs, higher lows, new highs, higher lows, new highs, higher lows. This has been the market trend for from last week, on the week before last, of course, on Thursday. So with that being said, traders, what do I expect to see? Before we get into that, let's remember what happened. Let's just have a focus on what happened on last week. And on Monday, we didn't trade this because we were selling the dollar, of course, so we stood out. And then on Tuesday, we started seeing that this truly is holding, because we were expecting this for this to go to the upside, but we just didn't take it because it was a conflict of strength in the dollar. So since we were selling the dollar, we didn't take this buy to the upside. So we took this buy early in the morning as soon as the market started the day, and we were expecting to see this just continue to the upside and reaching these levels here, but we did not. The market came down, gave us 1:2.8 right here with this spike to the downside, and then afterwards the market just moved in. We did get a new buy here, and then another spike came down, and what this told us is that it is going to the upside, but it is aggressive, so we will not be chasing the market. So we didn't trade this on Thursday because this is the only thing that happened on Thursday. Another flash crash that happened on Thursday. The only thing that you traders have to remind yourself with is that if you force trades, you will end up losing. So we decided this is going up, but in a very aggressive way. We don't want this to be part of our trading portfolio, so we left this one out because this was too aggressive for us as traders. So with that being said, traders, this just continued to go up to the as we expected, but we did not trade this because of these strong and sharp tails to the downside before the continuation to the upside. Now, what do I want to see? Still perfect for buying opportunities. This is a great place to look for buying opportunities to continue to the upside, but be careful of these spikes here because they might just wipe your account out or put you in a drawdown. What you want to look for is buying opportunities, but also be careful. We are nearing the monthly liquidity right here at 157.94. This is the monthly liquidity where everything can just fall as hard as it can to make the low of to make this low. Let me just remove everything. To make this low right here, we can potentially reach this low. This is the monthly liquidity right here, and we can just easily go to the downside like this. So be careful trading this one to the upside. Always move or trail stop to break even as soon as you see a move that is signaling or symbolizing you being right. So please, traders, avoid chasing highs, wait for pullbacks. But as you can see, the pullbacks in here were a bit aggressive, retesting the moving averages, but still aggressive to the upside. But don't worry, I will mark the exact buy zones inside Telegram before the move happens. So please make sure that you like, you subscribe, you join the Telegram so that you do not miss any of the education that will be analyzed or dropped in the Telegram channel, or you do not miss any of what we are teaching in Telegram. So traders, with that being said, this is the US dollar and the Japanese yen. Let's go straight to the gold to see what gold has in store for us. So last but not least, with gold, we did, before we get to understand what happened or what would happen or what might happen in the markets going into next week. Very simply put, we had a good buy where we did mention that it will trap a lot of sellers here and just buy, and it did exactly that. Went to the upside, took out this Friday's high, we took profit from it, of course, and we did have this sell to the downside, took out the low of Monday and a pullback. This was an indecision day, we did sell from this. After this, the market came down, gave us break even, and it was that we didn't force the market to go to the downside. And of course, we did have this, and we sold after this continuation to this level of Monday's low. We did take profit at that. So after taking those profit, this is how we look in the signals. If you haven't been watching these trading signals, make sure that you join this trading Telegram, and you get to get these trading signals, a live analysis, the updated levels, everything is dropped on Telegram. The link to the Telegram group will be dropped in the video description. Now, what is next on the gold? This is still an intraday selling zone. If we get various opportunities from this, we will go to the downside. But if we do break structure from here, go to the upside, find a pullback, look for buying opportunities. This would be a great place to take profit at this last low right here. This would be a great place to take profit at before continuing to the downside. Why would I want to sell this to the downside? Because in gold, there truly is no sign that we are going to the upside. Why is that? No reason, because remember the previous month break of structure is above here, symbolizing what? Selling opportunities. Even right now, we went to the moon phase liquidity right here, we went to the monthly liquidity right here, started selling, buying, selling, and as soon as it reached this this monthly liquidity right here, which is 4770.06, this was a great place to look for selling opportunities, and this looks like we might continue to the downside strong and with confidence on the dollar. So traders, that is what I expect on gold going into next week, and I don't want to see anything else. Gold is already confirmed the structure. It's not about, it's about to continue, and this is not about what you think might happen. This is about price action. Everything else is confirming that we are going to the downside. So if the pullback comes, it might be to just retest this level and continue to the downside. So this is Friday's high, and everything else just dropped on Friday, but we did not trade Friday because already we have already made money on other currencies including gold. So Friday was one of those uh, days where we don't trade because our belly is full. Now remember, sell only if pullback rise to resistance, which is this level right here, and then look for selling opportunities to the downside. Let me just move the charts to, yes. Now remember traders, let me zoom out. Sell only if the pullback comes to this level. Look for selling opportunities, break of structure to the downside, a pullback, a retest, and then a continuation to the downside to break this week's low. This is a great place to look for selling opportunities. This is the highest probability setup that might come out. And remember, gold will spike before dropping. Don't get trapped. Don't just get trapped in this momentum that goes up and think this is a buying zone. This is where you have to just buy everything else. No, just wait for the great break of structure like this one, and then a retest, and then you sell right here. This is the continuation that you will be looking for. Now remember, gold entries will be posted live. Don't miss this move in Telegram. Please make sure you join on Telegram. You watch the exact levels and the updated levels on Telegram. So traders, with that being said, that's it from me, Vin Boss. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and you join Telegram. You don't miss any of these trading signals. Bye bye and have a fantastic weekend.